Hey, what's going, y'all? It is yours truly once again. So, is narcissism witchcraft? By the way, this was a video topic request that I had got from somebody, and yeah, I'm real cool with them, and they were like, "Hey, you should talk about narcissism," and here I am. So, let's answer this question. Let's see how this all unfolds. So, I'm pretty unorthodox with some of my video delivery, but yeah, I mean, I'm not a psychologist by no means. Let me put that disclaimer out there. I have no PhD. I'm not a psychologist. I'm just someone that, I hope one can relate to. I think that I've been through a lot of unique things in my life. I lived in a city where 40 to 50% of the population was on some type of medicine, or they needed to be on some type of psychomedicine. So I've dealt with a lot of mental disturbances, if you know what I mean. Not that yours truly is mentally disturbed. So let's get that straight. But one thing I've noticed in upon some of my studies, because I guess you could say I've had to take some psychology. When I was in college, I did some studies on Sigmund Freud, and he talked about a lot of the problems with the narcissist that they have all started from when they were young. And one thing that Sigmund Freud did say in one of his statements, I'm not going to read a lot of stuff, but he did say something on the lines of a boy wants to replace his father and be the lover of his mother. And so he's seen how, I don't know, in some ways how his mother could be of a certain demeaning way, and maybe the boy felt like he could do a good job subduing his mother than his father could, especially if his mother showed him more affection than the mother showed his father. The mother basically liking the son more than the father. And I have seen many articles on this, man, about mothers showing some type of sexual affection for the son over the father. But that's another story. We're not getting into this, but this is just this idea of the narcissism becoming witchcraft. So I didn't understand all this about Sigmund Freud, by the way, when he was saying this stuff, but man, I understand all this because it's just deep. Now, upon my personal endeavors, I found it best to deal with narcissism by going to the core of the problem. To deal with the surface, though, you must go to the core. With the present, you must go to the past. Now, the idea of going to the past is part of the core. Because you get down to the bottom of what's really going on with an individual that's being narcissist to you. You can kind of, and it's really not this difficult now. If you call yourself trying to get to know somebody, if you will, whether on the realm of trying to build a certain type of relationship with them, because for those that watch my videos, yours truly don't believe in a relationship by itself. I believe in different types of relationships, though. But let's say on the standpoint of getting to know somebody in a certain type of relationship you having with them, and let's say you just want to talk to them about some of their past, right? But they don't want to talk about it. That right then and there should let you know how much of a narcissist they are. Because narcissists will not let you get to the core of what's really going on with them, what really makes them tick, But in essence, that is part of the core. A core that's hard for you to actually open up, though. They won't open up that core. They won't open up that door. So I'd say at that point, you can just get away from that person. Now, you'll try to get away from them, and guess what they do? They be like, if I can't have you, no one else can. Now, this could imply a statement from a narcissist as well as the codependent, but we'll get to the codependent later because this is kind of like part of something I'm really just trying to open up in layers per se. But yeah, let's say for the narcissist, why they feel like if I can't have you, no one else can, because the narcissist is feeding off your energy. They're feeding off what you do for them. But overall, the narcissist never has anything to bring to the table. They have nothing to bring to the table. They manipulate you to bring something to the table. And I could break this down to in the realm of genders and how this goes, but I'm not doing that right now. If someone wants me to break it down in the realm of gender in regards to narcissism, just let me know in the comment section below. But for now, we're going to be general in just saying that this does take place, this manipulation where you always bring something to the table, and they don't. They manipulate you to do so, you know. But overall, you want to get away from them because you're not getting anything out of it, right? You know, they're not representing the positivity of the love algorithm. You know, they're not being positive, they're being negative. So you're giving out to them. You're being positive, you're the codependent, they're being negative as the narcissist. And it's always going to result in a negative situation, no matter how hard you try to be positive with them. But they'll still make it seem like as if you're not going to be nothing without them. If I can't have you, no one else can. Matter of fact, nobody else wants you. That's how they really put it. They really say nobody else wants you. You're a loser. That's how it goes with dealing with the narcissist. So how does this get on the realm of actual witchcraft? Because there's a power in words. And they know that the codependent feeds off words. This is the manipulation. The witchcraft is the manipulation itself. How to get you to do things for them. And they don't give you nothing back in return. And they still poison you with words, making you feel bad, making you want to do more for them. This is part of the witchcraft I'm talking about. Now, you end up left in that spell after all of that. And so that could help, that makes you stay in years of depression. I know this from personal experiences at time. I understand what it's like to be in that lone depression, and you be having these long thoughts of loneliness, given that you feel like that person gave up on you. But it was really that they never gave up on you. They just were never there with you. That's what it really was. So, but yeah, hope y'all got on y'all bootstraps, strap on up, because we finna really take a nice little ride down the other Ray J lane. So, and it ain't really about a story about my life personally or anything like that, but I'm finna really let y'all be aware of what's out there. You know, I'm your driver, and yeah, sit back and relax. It's gonna get a little bumpy out there. So be aware though, as we going down this road. Okay, everybody got their seatbelts on. Okay, let's ride. All right, now. We're going down this road here. You're gonna see some vampires, right? Okay. Be aware of the vampires. We gotta watch for these vampires, these energy vampires. That's what the narcissist is, basically. The narcissist is the energy vampire. Okay? They're the ones who drain you. You know, when you feel drained, that's a vampire. Vampires do that, right? They drain you. They drain your blood. They make you dark, right? You were light. They fed off your light. You became dark. That's the energy vampire for you. That's the narcissist for you. Okay, so what is the codependent? Now that we're on the subject on codependent. Well, we got to also watch out for another thing down this road that we on. You got the narcissist. That's the vampire. And you got the codependent. That's the werewolf. Yes, the codependent is the werewolf. The narcissist is the energy vampire. The codependent is the energy werewolf. The narcissist tries to avoid the codependent overall. Now, see, at the time when the narcissist is taking advantage of someone they realize is the codependent themselves don't realize that they are the codependent. Once the codependent realizes that they are the codependent, then things get a little ugly for the narcissist, because now the narcissist wants to try to say that person is stalking them. Now, save that word stalking for later on in this video, because now you kind of see where I'm going with this. Maybe some people do. Now, I said earlier in a statement about what the narcissist actually says. You know, I said they'll say to you as you try to walk away from them, you're trying to avoid being the codependent. You know, they'll say, no one really wants you anyway. Whatever, bye. No one wants you anyway. And of course, the codependent would say something back like, if I can't have you, no one else can. You know, so in a statement where the codependent says that it feeds off the narcissist. Okay, it feeds off the narcissist. So, okay, you know, as I said, the vampire feeds off your light. They drain you. The narcissist feeds off the darkness. They poison you. You know, but it's not to feed off people who aren't codependent deliberately. Like the codependent is a direct result of the narcissist. The energy werewolf is the result of the energy vampire. The energy werewolf is is man, non-discreetly going after stalking that energy vampire. It's going to poison them. Look what you did to me. Now I'm finna get you back. Full moon, I'm turning to a werewolf. I'm coming after you. You better know you. I don't know where you think. And there's folklore about this clash of the werewolves and the vampires, but it really should be the battle of the narcissists and the codependents. The only reason why the person became a werewolf because the depression got so bad that the beast had to be unleashed. Enough was enough, and I'm coming after you one way or another. So now this person wants to say, oh, the werewolf is stalking me. Oh, you're just saying that as the vampire narcissist that you are. So let's go further into this idea of werewolf and vampire since we've been going down this road. You know, you've been riding on the other Ray J Express, and I've been taking y'all down this road, letting y'all see this clash of werewolves and vampires, and hopefully we don't hit them along the way, you know what I mean? So, all right, well, the vampire feeds off your light, though it can't survive the light itself, like the daylight, right? The vampire gets into the light, and woof, it melts away. So basically a vampire cannot be a positive person, but it likes to feed off other people's positivity for its own benefit, right? And so with the werewolf, it feeds off your dark, but it can't exist unless there's a full moon. Now the thing with a werewolf type of person is, they're already a darkened person similar to a vampire type of person, but they're not necessarily trying to drain you of your energy. When you talk to them, this type of energy werewolf is just someone that he's not taking away your energy. He's just giving you back negative energy. Like they're just a grumpy person. They're just a bad attitude type of person to deal with from the jump. An energy vampire, you may not know this right away. You know what I mean? Because they'll come across as the nicest person you ever meet. Yeah, they'll come across as the nicest person you've ever met, but they're trying to drain you and you don't even know it. Then you find out how wicked they are after you've been drained. Whereas the energy werewolf was a result of being drained, and he's just going to at least be honest with you from the jump. If he doesn't like you, he don't want to talk to you, and you might feel some type of way. You might feel poisoned after dealing with them, but you don't feel drained. So, and on top of that, like I said, a werewolf doesn't become a werewolf until there's like a full moon. So, to me, your depression is like that full moon. You know, when you're fully at the bottom end of your depression, then that's when your beast becomes unleashed. And this is when the vampires run and hide, and they go on this whole thing of the werewolf is stalking me, right? So, but one thing the vampire is jealous of with someone, of energy vampire is jealous of with someone that's like an energy werewolf is that, obviously a werewolf represents a metamorphosis. That's another part of the witchcraft. See, when you give into a narcissist witchcraft as a codependent, you take on a metamorphosis. You become someone that you never were. Don't become that way. Don't give into someone's manipulation as a narcissist to make you something that you never were as a codependent. You stay you. You stay on the bright and positive side. You don't get into this dark full moon of depression that you unleash that beast, that you become this werewolf of an angry, ugly person. That you become this werewolf stalker type of a person that pursues those energy vampires. They're not even worth it, okay? Your life is more precious than that, okay? So, but the vampire hates that they can't metamorph like that even more. They hate that. The vampire wants to be as evil as they can be. They're more evil than the werewolf, but they don't have the same power as the werewolf once the werewolf unleashes that beast. But I'd say you can control the beast, being that you had this depression, you can control that. Whereas someone that's a narcissist, they cannot control the pure evil that they've become, the vampire that they've become because of the perversions of their Sigmund Freud described childhood, okay? Someone that was an energy werewolf does not have a perverted, messed up childhood like an energy vampire did. Because for some reason, that narcissist had something very messed up happen to them as a child, and they never got over that as they became an adult. Whereas someone that was an energy werewolf may have had a messed up childhood as a child, and they've gotten over it as an adult, but maybe they've still ran into similar people that were narcissists, that remind them of the narcissists that they've dealt with in their childhood. Okay? So, now, This whole thing about the guilt trip, okay? Now that can go two ways. And I'd say two ways because this is a hybrid type of person. Kind of like that Underworld movie where you had the Lycan vampire hybrid. You got these type of people that could be a guilt trip type of a person. They'll make you feel guilty for something that you didn't do for them, if you will. And on top of that, after you do something for them, it's never enough. And so you still feel drained as well as poisoned. The two attributes of the energy vampire and the energy werewolf. The energy vampire drains you and the energy werewolf poisons you. The energy vampire drains you of your light. The energy werewolf poisons you with darkness. Either way, you end up dark, no matter which entity. So, but the thing is, if you're just dealing with the whole guilt trip in regards to the energy vampire, as I was saying, they'll just get you to do something for them and it's never enough. The energy werewolf, if they get you on a guilt trip and you decide not to do something for them, they'll just walk away. They'll say, okay, you don't have to do that. I'll leave you alone. And on top of that, after you do something for them, they'll still leave you alone. You know what I'm saying? And they'll at least, kind of acknowledge you to a certain extent, but they'll just keep it moving. Whereas with the energy vampire, that guilt trip, it's just never enough. So yeah, with a hybrid person, it's like the best of both worlds. After you've done something for the energy werewolf or the energy vampire, the best of both worlds is that it's never enough. The energy vampire will continue to drain from you as they continue to walk away from you, like the energy werewolf do. This is what the hybrid person is. Now, this ends off on what I really wanted to say as we now starting to finish our ride down the other Ray J lane, and you riding on the other Ray J Express. I've showed y'all all this. I've given y'all a fascinating tour about this narcissism is witchcraft. So, okay, so now here's a big old Easter egg for you. The Me Too movement, for the most part, is represented by energy vampires. And the incels are represented, for the most part, by energy werewolves. I'll let you think about that. And for those who have seen my video about the Sigma Rogue Wolf, kind of add some of that element to this current video about is narcissism witchcraft. And that right there, y'all, is the end of this ride. I hope y'all enjoyed that ride down the other Ray J lane and riding aboard the other Ray J Express. I wish y'all a good time at your final destination. Even though the road was rough along the way, that hopefully you don't have to deal with the energy vampires and the energy werewolves at your final destination that we're at now. And y'all have a good one. And until next time, signing out.